welcome. My name is Aitambat. I'm a dedicated Yu-Gi-Oh! Dueling streamer, and today we are not going to do a deck explanation. Today we are going to talk about the KC Cup. So, KC Cup for beginners. What is actually the KC Cup? As you can see here, we have been playing the KC Cup on stage 1 now, and we already achieved DLV Max, which will grant us access to stage 2. But what does it mean, stage 2? And what does it mean hitting DLV Max and have the eligibility to access stage 2? So let's go back to the main window. Then you can see on the right side all the events which are ongoing. And then if you go into the Kaiba Core Cup, which is the KC Cup, then you will see the announcement. So for stage 1 is from September till 16th, so like the whole week, and stage 2 will be limited to 3 days only, so starting from 13, 7 o'clock, 14, 15, and 16, and then it's end of it. So similar to the previous KC Cup, players who have reached DL level 15, 17, and 20 will not be demoted below. So after you achieve those levels, you cannot drop below anymore. So reach the maximum of DL level to participate in the second stage, which begins on September 13th. What they don't tell you here is actually if you have already reached King of Games level in the season before the KC Cup. So for example, we have now September. If you have been King of Games for August and achieved it already in August, you will be automatically eligible for the second stage of the KC Cup, because when I opened my Duel Links app before the KC Cup started, there was a notice like, oh, since you have achieved King of Games like last season, you will be able to access stage 2 anyway, and you will start in stage 1 on level 10 instead of level 1 like the normal people. So instructions for the first stage: KC Cup will be held PvP arena, blah blah blah, to raise your DLV, try to stealing max. So for all the other people, you need to access DLV max, so the maximum level, before you can access stage 2. And then here instructions for stage 2. On 13th of September, starting from 7 o'clock in the morning, when normal people would be working, the mayhem starts. Oh yeah, enter the mayhem, yeah. Thank you, you got this. So in the second stage, you will gather duel points. Every time you win, you will get, I think, about 1,000 duel points. Every time you lose, you will lose a certain amount of points too. Usually it's also about 1,900 or about 1,000 or 900. And then the more you play, the more coins you will accumulate according to the win rate you have. And if you achieve the most points and you are placed first of the KC Cup, the first place player in the second stage global ranking will receive an invitation to the Duel Links World Championship, which means next year, not this year, next year, because the WCS has been recently first in August, is held in Berlin, and which means next year, maybe around also the same time, August, September, you will be invited to the WCS wherever in the world, because this year it was in Berlin, last year was in Tokyo, the year before it was in Tokyo, and for next year we will see wherever it might be. Then event information. Your DLV will begin at the following levels depending on your rank in the season 43 of ranked duels, which is Silver DL, Gold 5, Platinum 7, and Legend and Beyond is DLV 10. Duelists who reach King of Games he is now finally written down in season 43 of the ranked duels are invited straight to the second stage. See, that's why I said if you have been King of Games last season, you don't have to play stage 1 if you don't want to, but mostly the people who are still playing it are grinding it for the gems. So I guess, guys, Konami got you hooked, you're addicted. You have a problem there, serious problem, man. Players who have not participated in season 43 of ranked duels, so in the whole August, will begin the first stage at DLV 1. Wow, that's sad. That's sad. Okay, so for people who have been inactive, you are ranked down. You are not worth anything anymore. Go away. The duel points you earn lose changes based on the difference between you and your opponent's DP. The least amount of DP you will earn by winning a duel is 1,000 points, so you are able to earn more with no upper limit. The largest amount of DP you will lose by losing a duel is 1,200, so you can't lose more than that. Players with 9,000 DP or less will lose less DP upon losing a duel, so you cannot drop faster than you're climbing. I think that's what they are trying to do. Players who place in the top 500 of the regional rankings in the KC Kappa second stage will earn eligibility to participate in regional qualifiers. So here is a lot of blah 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 text here, and the regional rankings are explained. So you have different regions, and then you can rank top 500 or top 600 for it, and then you are allowed to access some kind of regional qualifiers to qualify again for the World Championships. It's a lot of text. I will show you a picture to make it more simple for you guys. Ooh, picture, okay. So the picture, should I make it a little bit bigger? Yeah, let's make it a little bit bigger. So what this thing is basically saying is you have the KC Cup, and you have like one global number 1 in the KC Cup. This guy will like get a little digital envelope, like the invitation for WCS next year. And then the next guy who wins the next KC Cup will get the same thing. But for the people who are playing in the different regions, they are like, instead of top 500, because when I used to play it was still top 500, now it's top 600. So the top 600 players in each region will be able to access the regional qualifiers, which is WCS regional qualifiers event. And then within those, the top 2 are also eligible to access the WCS. And then Konami still keeps it open that there might be in future other events which are planned. I don't know, maybe some kind winner of YCS or whatsoever, what they are planning, I don't know. But there might be some kind of event convention whatsoever coming up, which also puts it under some kind of tournament thingy. And then you have another event where you can gain eligibility to access the WCS, so the World Championships, for next year. I think the picture here explains it much better than the text in the other thing here. So then a lot of text, blah 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 blah. And the main point for people who are not really into like getting top 600 to access the regional qualifiers to go to the WCS, because they have real life going on the weekend and they just don't want to spend 72 hours playing Duel Links to get access to that. Here are some motivations still to play the KC Cup. So you can get obviously card sleeves and duel mats and a lot of gems depending on how many times you duel. So first you have the 7 times duels with this stamp collection, and then you have this 4 times duel each day. You get gems and special packs, and the cards in the special packs cannot be really neglected because they are actually pretty good, especially for beginners. If you want a Blue Eyes or Dark Magician or Red Eyes, Sonic Chick, whatsoever, for example, Metamorphs, also not bad, Ancient Rule, Jar of Greed, and so on and so on. So the recommended rewards are not bad. They are not recommended for the highly competitive players, but they are some, how to say, they are not neglectable for beginners. And the gems, I think, if you count them all together for the KC Cup event, it's also not neglectable. I think it's about 1000 or 1200 all over if you get all of them. And I hope this will now explain what the KC Cup is actually good for and why most people are playing it who are really competitive because they want to access the World Championship. But for also the people who are not really competitive, who are just farming it for the gems, for the card sleeves, for the goodies, for the event items, I hope you got now a better understanding where the KC Cup is actually originating from. And I think the main idea behind this whole organization thing is to push the whole competitive community behind Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links and all the players all over the world to have some special event like once in a while, I think about every 4 or 5 months, to gather together and just to see who is the best. Yeah. And finally have a global ranking, because even after the latter revamp, we still don't have the global ranking where the people were actually hoping for it. But now we just got like, I think 7 levels in between. So below Legend we have now 7 levels for Plat, Gold, and so on whatsoever. And above Legend it's just basically still the same. We like Legend 1, 2, 3, and then you have to win 5 times in a row to hit King of Games. Alright. So if you have any other questions concerning the Kaiba Corp Cup, the KC Cup, or the regional qualifiers for World Championship, and yeah, what this picture is actually saying over there, post it below in the comments, and I will see how I can answer to them as soon as possible. See ya! Bye bye!